Lots of rain last night, and we're lucky now to have blessed to have a nice dry moment again. Today we have very dramatic, two big dramas, or if you want, three big dramas in the readings, and they're all interconnected. We see people. How do we see them? Look at this shaft of light coming in. Today's readings are really about light and how we see light. We say a word about somebody and we cast a light on them. It could be a good light showing their talents and bringing out their qualities. Or it could be, wow, that shaft of light is really getting strong. Isn't that beautiful? We have it reflected on the water coming towards us, and we have that shaft going out to the side. That's fantastic. It's getting better by the moment. I'm happy to be here for this moment. And God created the world and he saw that it was good. And that's one of the problems we have. We don't see the good side of the world sometimes. We only see the bad. And we often see bad where actually good is happening. Wow. And this little puddle of water is providing such beauty for us. Sometimes that's one amazing shaft of light, isn't it? And those clouds are there. If they weren't there, we wouldn't have this shaft of light like this. That's amazing. You were once in darkness, that's the second reading. And that is directed to every single disciple of Jesus. You were once in darkness. So the man born blind is every one of us. The story of the man being cured of his blindness. Say a prayer for me that I'll be cured of my blindness. And progressively so. And then when we see the light, that we will follow, because it's not just knowledge. Life is not just knowledge. This is also one of the big weaknesses of Gnostic thinking, which was a big philosophical trend back in the Roman period, and actually today. The Gnostic trends. If I know stuff, that's enough. We actually have to live. Of course, understanding is a huge part of our life. But living our life, relationships isn't about just understanding. Relationships are about doing. Relationships are about being invested in things, being invested in people especially, being invested in God. That cloud is going to overcome the light. This is a great moment, watching this happening, and this can happen in our own lives. The clouds can overcome the light. That everything God does is good for us. Everything. Because God is good. There's no mix of evil in God. And even if the child was born blind, this was not because the parents sinned or because the child sinned. That was the question they asked Jesus. Who was the real cause of this child being born blind? And Jesus said it was to reveal God's glory. It was to reveal God's glory. There are also a lot of interior connections between the readings. Look at this one. Look at those clouds. Isn't that marvelous? In that little puddle, it's only about 4 feet by 2 feet. And you have that work of beauty in the cloud, in the pool. And here, I need this angle here. The fence is a little bit of a disturbance. But maybe also it would allow us to count all the sections. to discover the good that's in everything. And now that great shaft of light is really reduced by that cloud. I just have to watch where I'm walking today, because if I go towards the mud, I will get sticky shoes, and then I have to go back into Ducanalton, back into our little house, so that won't work too well. I want to bring you up to another spot, because I think we have the dramatic light now. We have had that moment of amazing shaft of light. I want to bring you up to meet somebody. And this is all about this seeing. What do we see? To see, man judges by appearance, but God looks at the heart. And there's a famous little book of Saint-Exupéry, and he says that what's important is to see with the heart, to see with love, not just to measure the appearance, the yards, the meters, the goals scored, the distance run, to measure with the heart, because maybe the person running is not an Olympic athlete. To see with the heart, to see what each person is doing in their lives. You remember how Jesus saw at the temple that the woman with the mite, the widow's mite, the little coin, and the financial might of the rich was nothing compared to the widow's mite, because she invested all she had. She gave all she had, generosity. And sometimes we're slow in learning the great value of generosity and the value of pruning. When we see things happening in our lives, we're being pruned, painful things, hurtful things, the opportunity to grow through pruning, and especially in the spiritual life. That we can be blessed by pruning. We need a new eyesight. Lord, give me sight. Lord, that I may see. Now, there's also a bit of a backstory here with David, not just in the line of the prophet to Jesse, but there's a backdrop in the history of David in Jerusalem, and Jesus is in Jerusalem. And they tell David he cannot take the city of Jerusalem because the blind and the cripples will stop him. That means people that just don't have any capability, that he is nothing, he can't do it. And the two big miracles that Jesus effects in Jerusalem are precisely the healing of the paralytic at the pool of Bethesda and the healing of the blind man whom he sends to the pool of Siloam. We had lots of pools this morning here with all the rain. So I want to bring you up to meet this man here, who is our largest benefactor, the greatest donor we've had dollar-wise. And he allowed us to purchase the first two pieces of property here. His name is Don Antonino. And the reason I bring you to see him is a little kid born in a little lost village in Spain, caught into a civil war battle in Spain as a child, another shave with death. And this man went on to be very blessed in life, but he had made a deep commitment in his heart that he would only do good, that he would do great good. And one of the things he did that I always share with the pilgrims is he started a foundation to help people of mental and physical disabilities that don't reach the normal standards of performance and functionality to enter the workforce, the regular workforce. And let's say you're hiring some people for your office, for your factory, for your farm, for whatever. And somebody comes along in a wheelchair and there you have 10 applicants for this particular job, and they really could all do it. But this guy's on a wheelchair and you think, well, I better hire this other person. Or you have another one that comes in and he says, my name is Dan. And you say, well, you'll be very nice to this person, you know, but you won't be hiring him probably. And he got this culture changed. It's a foundation dedicated to changing the culture, to advancing and getting people to hire, to involve people in their lives that have handicaps. In our society, with all its rational processes, you know, it's very important to have institutional, systematic ways and means to help people in caring for people who are sick. So that's why hospitals are great, because they have a lot of equipment and specialists in one place. And so we put people into those places. But if we put them in there permanently, then they will always be in a very artificial environment in a way, and they may need a lot of major intervention and support for sure. But to put them into normal society is a huge blessing for everybody. Imagine when somebody like that is hired and they now have, good morning, they now have a job, and they have to go out of their house every day or 3 days a week to do the job and get ready. It changes the whole psychology of life for them. It also unburdens their family. It's a new light in their lives, a new break. And then at the workplace, somebody's complaining about the coffee machine, or another person is complaining that it was raining too much today. And you know what? They see this guy in the wheelchair, this guy that has a speech impediment, doing wonderful work conscientiously, and they're saying, gosh, I have to be thankful for all the good in my life, because God is good. God is good. Everything He allows to happen in my life is for good. Everything. It's to reveal God's glory and to develop an eyesight that's capable of doing that and embracing that. So it's not just a philosophy, it's actually giving myself. And just like there are mental and physical discapacities, there are also people are blocked morally. Sometimes they've had terrible traumas, they have been deeply wounded, offended, they've been deeply hurt, and they have reactions, very nervous reactions, very filled with suspicion, difficult for them to relate, to forgive, so many things. So we can't judge anybody. Imagine having the eyesight to see the image of God in every person. Lord, restore my sight. Lord, convert me. Lord, help me to see the meaning of my life, what you have done in my life. What you are doing in my life, the hope you have instilled in me, the perspective, the future of my life for your glory. My life is going to reveal your glory 100%, Lord. I just have to be renewed and completely develop my sight, get good glasses to see things the way you see them, Lord. People, God bless you. I think it looks like it's going to rain a little bit. I hope it's not too heavy. I'll run in and we do the Instagram from inside if necessary. See you later. May your day be a day of special light, growth in light. Get rid of a cataract that's blocking you to see God's light in your life today. We were once in darkness, if we have been brought to light. God sees the heart, not just the appearances. See you later, alligator.